We are literally creating a place that we know who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods.
In the middle of the road at 32nd and Cedar Avenue, a makeshift roadblock turned this intersection into a roundabout. Cars slowed as drivers noticed, some honked, others asked questions, and one man brought food for the people standing watch.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much.
How did it make you feel just seeing a community checkpoint in your neighborhood?
Well, you know, it felt fine. I don't have any trouble with folks helping out.
Wade Haynes has been standing at this corner twice a day for one reason: to stand up against ICE activity and keep his community safe. He chose this corner. Others chose this intersection.
It's kind of inspiring. It's like, wow, okay. We've got folks out there who are kind of taking care of us, looking out for us. That's good.
But Minneapolis police stepped in, clearing the roadblock and restoring flow of traffic.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad about it.
Still, residents say the roadblock was necessary.
We need to keep our neighbors safe, so we will be doing this again.
Ain't that the same exact thing the current administration is trying to do are doing at the borders? So now y'all believe in borders, huh? Oh, I see. It only makes sense when they do it, right? Come on, man. Everybody keep asking the same question about Minnesota right now, though. How did it get this out of control this fast? Seriously, roadblocks, people screaming about warrants. They don't understand. Federal agents getting threatened. Millions gone. Permanently at that. And at first glance, it all looks random, disconnected, and just chaos. But once you line it up the right way, you realize something uncomfortable. Now, we paused it right here. Well, it paused itself, rather. Look at what we just actually saw, though. Those weren't police. Those weren't officials. Those are private citizens setting up illegal checkpoints, deciding who can move through the public streets. And listen to the language that they're using. We know who's coming and going. That's all we trying to do in America is know who's coming and going. Seriously, man, they collapse under their own ideology. That's not protest talk. That's control talk right there. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens after authority collapses, not before.
You are not buying nothing? You need to go out, please. Go. This is a religious place. We're walking up here.
Private property.
Sir, who's the boss here? Who's the officer? Who's the big boss here?
Just back up. Let us do our job and we'll get out again. Okay?
You're on private property. You have a warrant?
Okay.
But in the lot. How do you come in? How do you come in this lot?
It's private property.
How do you come in this lot? Are you paying for the money? Are you paying the rent?
Who's the
Are you buying
supervisor?
something?
Can I talk to a supervisor?
Just find it back up.
No, I just want to talk to a supervisor.
Yeah, we'll give you something right now. You can talk to the...
You can call.
Yeah, I need to talk to the supervisor.
You can call the field office, the local field office.
I can't because I need a supervisor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys.
Call ICE. What's your phone
Get out
number?
of love.
Sir, so much. Huh? Sir, I got some message. Sir, I got a message.
Yeah, what is the visa?
No, he's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, he showed you.
No, I'm trying to use the He's a U.S. citizen.
Back up. Back up.
He's a U.S. citizen. And I want you to know that you are kidnapping a U.S. citizen. Please make sure that you take his side.
He just showed
U.S. citizen. Please make sure that he's a U.S. citizen.
No, he showed them. I was here. He showed them.
He's a U.S. citizen.
He showed them. What are you taking?
Yo, it's the whistles. That's so annoying. Like, ah.
What are you taking? He showed you. He's a U.S. citizen.
They took a U.S. citizen here from Syria.
Fucking Texas. Come on.
Don't stop.
This makes absolutely no sense. Watching videos like that just makes you makes you just, when you see how confident they spread misinformation about stuff like this. Anyhow, the whistles, the shouting, people screaming about warrants, private property, and kidnapping. Not because they know the law, but because they've been told the law is whatever protects their side, as you can see. This is what mass confusion looks like when it's been normalized. Nobody's asking questions anymore. They're issuing demands. This is where it clicks.
We see in America, like, America's the kind of life raft of the world, that you've got all these things built into your political system.
Yeah. And
that's why it's so scary when you see people. Do you remember the vice presidential debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz? And Tim Walz said that the First Amendment doesn't cover hate speech. It doesn't cover misinformation.
Exactly. He's a dangerous fuck, that
like,
guy.
That's scary. If the guy who might be vice president is saying, actually, we're going to strip out all of this stuff.
Also, just the way he behaves is so odd. The way he waves and runs on stage, and it's all just so fake and performative.
Yeah.
I don't know any men like that aren't dangerous.
Why was he picked?
Probably because of the Minnesota stuff. It probably had something to do with what he was allowing to happen in Minnesota.
Well,
they were probably
making
a ton of money.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Like, there's a reason why he had to resign. I mean, I'm clearly speculating. I have no idea, and I'm a moron when it comes to politics. But what I would assume is that for sure he was informed of this fraud long in advance.
Right.
If it wasn't for that Nick Shirley kid in those videos, and apparently Nick Shirley had been informed by the GOP there that this was all going on, so this gets exposed, it gets into the public zeitgeist, it becomes a huge news story. It's not a coincidence that the riots break out in the exact same place where all this fraud is being exposed, because ICE is everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over the place, but it's not. The most violent interactions are the interactions that are happening in the place where the most fraud has been publicly exposed.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is all by design.
There's something very scary about it.
Yeah, and so this guy knew about it in advance. How do we know? Well, one way we know is because he's resigning.
So there must be something.
There's something.
Yeah.
He's not running for governor again. He was in the process of running for governor. He's decided to step out of public office entirely now.
Yeah.
So maybe they told him, if you do not step out, you are going to be prosecuted. We know what you did.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's going to fucking turn state's evidence. Who fucking knows?
Imagine if he'd have won, him and Kamala Harris, if they would have been in charge. I mean, what? I don't think I would have come here.
Well, what if Elon doesn't buy Twitter and Kamala Harris wins and Tim Walz is our vice president?
Well, doesn't that just tell you how fragile freedom is?
Fragile.
Like how close you are.
Very fragile. And that's why people support Donald Trump. And the people that think that they support him because he's a racist and all these different things, no. They support it because it's an alternative to what we all saw coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, this is exactly where it clicks, like I said. Joe Rogan doesn't talk like a politician. He talks like someone reacting to instinct. And, hold on, I think I got to sneeze. It's right there. Come on. Anywho, I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Y'all know my allergies have been really bothering me these last couple of weeks. But when he says, I don't know any men like that who aren't dangerous, that line right there, he's not talking about vibes at all. He's talking about pattern recognition, which is what we've been covering this whole week. The patterns, performative leadership, fake empathy, public gestures covering private decisions. People feel when something's off, even if they can't articulate it, just yet.
Fraud. They outlined the fraudulent providers and the alleged movement of millions of dollars in cash out of our state to Somalia, with allegations that the money was going to fund terrorism. Unfortunately, according to multiple whistleblowers, soon after these reports were released, the Criminal Investigation Unit for Childcare Fraud, which had been leading the charge on these prosecutions, was shut down by the Department of Human Services. Rather than conducting criminal investigations of fraud, the Walz administration essentially renamed fraud as overpayment, and they referred any overpayment cases to a new internal overpayment committee, which would decide if they should pursue reimbursement. The DHS staff in this unit were no longer allowed to talk to their counterparts in the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension without prior supervisor approval. Failure to address childcare fraud and the decision to stop criminal investigations led directly to the largest COVID fraud scandal in the nation. In March of 2020, Representative Ilhan Omar authored a bill called the Meals Act, which eventually was incorporated into a larger COVID package. This law enabled states to waive the normal eligibility requirements for participating in the National School Lunch Program, eliminating income requirements, site inspections, and expanded distribution methods. Minnesota took full advantage of these waivers and enabled site sponsors like Feeding Our Future, Partners in Quality Care, and Gargar Family Services to bill for hundreds of millions of fake meals for fake children. Just one of these groups, Feeding Our Future, became the largest COVID fraud in state and national history, bilking taxpayers of at least $250 million. To date, there have been 78 indictments and 61 convictions in the Feeding Our Future scandal, with more cases to go on trial this spring.
Yep. Now, here's where off becomes measurable. Yeah, when we said something feels off, investigations didn't just stall, they were rebranded. Fraud became overpayments. Criminal behavior became administrative error. That's not a mistake, that's a choice. Because once you change the language, you then change the consequences, right?
So essentially, you guys give that fund to the states, and then you just have trust in the states that they're going to distribute that money.
Well, the classic model that the U.S. government's operated on in general is like pay and chase. Like when the state asks for money, you just send it, and maybe you investigate later if there's accusations. But it's hard to claw money back. The minute we send it to Minnesota, Minnesota sends it to these largely fake grantees. It's probably overseas within a few days. That's going to be impossible to get back. So while it's good that we're doing investigations and prosecutions and like holding everyone accountable we can, the bigger savings are going to come from just not sending money out the door in the first place until we're sure that the states have a handle on the situation, are not corrupted, and are sending it to real people who actually deserve it.
So essentially, you guys give that fund to the state.
So this is the point of no return. Once the money leaves the system, it's gone. Not delayed, not misfiled. Gone. And that's the part nobody wants to admit. If you know the money can't be recovered and you keep the system running anyway, you've accepted the loss. Not incompetence. That's not what that is. That's permission.
A man has been arrested and charged with doxing and threatening an FBI agent and his child using information that was stolen from a government vehicle during an anti-ICE protest in Minneapolis. Garrett Tenney, what happened?
Yeah, well, Dana, folks at home will remember these images of protesters breaking into several FBI vehicles a couple of weeks ago in Minneapolis after agents who were trying to investigate the shooting of an illegal immigrant were forced to evacuate the area for their own safety. Inside those cars, protesters found documents that they posted online, including rosters with FBI employees' phone numbers, email addresses, home addresses, and driver's license. According to court records, within a day, 10 to 15 FBI agents and employees started getting threatening phone calls, emails, texts, and even suspicious drive-bys at their home addresses. One agent had around 23 different people contact him with messages like this: "I know where your mom lives, bro, and your dad, and your kids, buddy. Get home safe and fast." And then this email: "We'll see how tough you are when I firebomb," and then included a specific address tied to the agent in Cincinnati, Ohio. But it didn't stop there. They also tracked down one FBI special agent's child on Facebook and sent them this message: "How does it feel to be the child of your dad's info leaked online? And I find it incredibly embarrassing that he's FBI, but so much is available about him and his family." Investigators traced several of those threatening messages to a man named Jose Ramirez, who lives outside Chicago in Schaumburg, Illinois, and according to the criminal complaint, has a criminal history that includes domestic battery, burglary, and mob action. He's now charged with doxing and threatening an FBI agent. Dana?
My goodness. Okay, thank you, Garrett.
A lot. And now you see the downstream effect. This isn't protest anymore. This is intimidation. When agents' families are threatened, when kids are named in messages and firebombs are mentioned, that's not when the state signals weakness. Chaos doesn't stay theoretical. It always finds people.
hardcore radical. She was trying to block ICE operations.
Yes. You can argue over these things all you want. The fact is, you have to come to Jesus and say, if you hadn't cooperated, we wouldn't even be doing this. There'd be 2 people alive if it wasn't for the fact that you guys wanted them dead. You
didn't
wanted the
acknowledge
political
what I
theater,
said,
and
that
you
they
still
only
want it.
send
You
ICE
still want it.
into blue cities and blue states to make liberals.
Hardcore radical. She was trying to block ICE operations.
Yes.
You can argue over the.
Yeah. And here's the justification. Instead of asking why enforcement is happening, the conversation becomes who deserves to suffer. Not about law, not about safety, about punishment. This is how chaos gets rationalized at the top while it explodes at the bottom.
So let's see, this is Suite B. Again, that is the address where Ilhan Omar's winery is. You can see that a different winery is here, Punch Down Cellars.
What does this note say?
E Street Crew does not make wine here. They were a client many years ago and have ceased operation. Their operating address is linked to this address like all other client wineries because of state and federal filings. So I wonder what else they have to show for it. What do you think about that?
I think they're just trying to keep as much distance between them and their business and Ilhan Omar's as much as possible.
Yeah.
You guys just do a little more research before.
Well, yeah, that's what we're kind of doing right now.
Would you be so
But
kind
this
to
is,
tell us
do you know
about
what this
them?
place is?
No, that's why we came
It's a
back here.
custom crush place. A bunch of people use it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like renting instead of owning.
Yeah.
So,
I see.
so there's like about 40 of us in here
Okay.
making wine.
Yeah.
So-
We're just trying to just figure out what is really going on. We see that
Next time, just call, because there's nothing going on here.
Yeah,
So.
The pastor told us that Punch Down Cellars makes wine for 14 different.
They don't make wine.
Or crushes.
Crush it and you hold it
We,
for 'em?
no, winemakers make wine in the same facility.
Oh, cool.
So-
Which, because my family, we've been part of like members of like certain wineries and stuff. So is there like a high-end brand that you guys like hold for or anything like that?
No, I don't own the place.
Okay.
I'm just one of the winemakers
Okay,
here.
cool.
And there's a bunch of us
Yeah.
under one roof.
Awesome.
That's all.
What's your winery's name?
Well, I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
But it's not that one.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You didn't really seem very happy.
No.
Do they have people coming to check this place out or something that they needed to put a sign on it? I mean,
Probably.
I haven't noticed anybody
I would
else
imagine
online.
so because I mean that company's being sued, right?
Now let's zoom out. Street chaos, policy decisions, missing money, and at the same time, quiet financial insulation. Shell companies exploding revenue, no production, no answers. This is what protected systems look like. That's all I'm saying. The rules tighten at the bottom and dissolve at the top. So when people ask, how did Minnesota get here? The answer isn't one protest or one policy or even one politician. It's a chain of decisions that all lean the same way. Ignore, downplay, rename, deflect. Until the system couldn't hold it anymore. Joe Rogan didn't lose his mind. He said out loud what people were already saying. Or feeling, rather. When leadership is fake, consequences, they become real. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write that. I was going to say that wasn't. No, I say this. This wasn't accidental. This wasn't accidental is the final word while I'm over here. Almost fumbling the play. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.